It's hard to imagine that the young man in front of you is actually a retired hitman. These days, he spends his time listening to rock music and drinking tea. Known in the assassin world as the Mechanic, Will remains highly vigilant even after retirement. Every time he leaves, he activates the yacht's defense system to prevent anyone from breaking in. Will often visits Sugarloaf Mountain, a famous landmark in Brazil, to grab a bite. Not long after he sat down, a sexy and beautiful woman took a seat across from him. To his surprise, she immediately asked Will to kill 3 people. Her boss required that all the assassinations be staged as accidents, something Will specialized in. The woman even threatened him, saying that if he refused, she would reveal his address to his enemies, effectively ending his peaceful retired life. The woman thought she had Will completely under her control, but to her shock, Will calmly took out his phone and snapped a picture of her. Panicking, she tried to draw her gun, but Will slammed her down against the table. After knocking the overconfident woman unconscious, he turned and engaged the thugs rushing toward him. Although heavily outnumbered, the battle-hardened Will used everything around him as weapons, turning the restaurant's seafood buffet into what felt like a human barbecue. After taking down 10 attackers by himself, he saw on the surveillance feed that more enemies were rushing upstairs. Not wanting to prolong the fight, he leapt off the platform. The woman quickly led her men in pursuit, but the only way down the mountain was by cable car. The assassins rushed into a cabin but couldn't find Will. However, the woman heard a noise above them. Will was hiding on top of the cable car. She immediately fired wildly at the roof and even kicked the door open, trying to climb up. But Will was even more daring. He suddenly jumped from the moving cabin mid-air and landed steadily on a passing hang glider, flying away right before her eyes. Will secretly returned home, only to find several strangers sneaking around on his yacht, clearly trying to break in. He knew they were obviously connected to the same group from earlier that day. Seeing them on his boat, Will made a ruthless decision and pressed a button on his phone. The yacht's defense system activated instantly, and the luxury vessel, worth over $700, 000, was reduced to flames. Will then headed to the dockside warehouse district. One of the warehouses was his secret base. He burned his old fake passport, grabbed a new one along with some cash, and disappeared once again.